Hello, everybody. Welcome to the HitmonChannel. We're your tour guides, Noah,
And Jacob.
and today, we're going to be continuing through Scooby-Doo First Frights, and next episode, hopefully, will be the finale.
Huh.
So that'll be cool. Because we're on the final episode of the game. Uh, and looks like it's gonna have a medieval setting to it, right? Like in a castle. Oh, I thought our monster was gonna be a knight, but that looks oddly like the Goblin King from Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King. Or the main villain from the Black Cauldron that I forget the name of. Alright.
The Horned King, apparently.
The Horned King, that's it. I still haven't seen that movie, and I am curious about it. Because, like, you know, it wasn't very successful in its time, mostly because it was so dark, compared to most Disney movies. But I bet, like, I mean, I know it's one of Dan's favorites on Game Grumps, and I bet, like, watching it now, would be, fun.
Yeah.
Ow. But yeah, anyway, yeah, wow, my mind is like blanking on stuff to talk about. And
one thing that I could throw in, is that the whole, like, a cauldron feeling that is dark, actually brings to mind, like, another problem countered by, like, Disney himself back when he was still alive. And that, like, Disney brand is, like, that for that era is so associated with a specific kind of movie that, like, the company had major issues just trying to branch out into other things because everyone expected a certain kind of thing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of, like, bits about, like, Walt Disney, like, really, like, regretting or lamenting that fact. I can't remember what movie, like, there's an anecdote that someone, of him going to see some movie. I can't remember what movie it was off the top of my head. Going to see a movie and then walking out and saying that is the kind of movie I could never make.
Speaking of dark Disney, we are fighting gargoyles now. Which works on two fronts, the Gargoyles show and Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah. Ironically, for the point, the gargoyles were the least dark part of Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, yeah.
Notre Dame.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Disney, I, like, saw something while I was researching for a potential video idea. And I don't know how I didn't hear about this, but, like, Disney have officially cast Peter Pan and Wendy for their Peter Pan remake. And I didn't realize that that had been a thing that was official.
I didn't either. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's actually called Peter Pan and Wendy. So seems to indicate it'll focus more on, like, the two of them rather than just Peter Pan himself. Which will be cool. I'll continue after this. Oh. Okay, fucking, like, love child of Ursula and, fuck, I forget the name of Elizabeth Banks' character in Hunger Games. Effie Trinket? I think?
That's assuming that that's the character you're referring to, yeah, every trinket.
Yeah. Also, I feel like I noticed this before but didn't comment on it, and it just happened again now.
Huh?
Anytime Velma pushes up her glasses, it looks really weird because the way her character model is made, it's obvious that the eyes are plastered onto the glasses. So, yeah. Which, I mean, you can also clearly see it from certain angles that she does have eyes under the glasses, too. So it's weird.
Since, like, because the ones that are on top of the glasses are the one that's going to be animating most of the time, so it makes sense to be a second set for continuity.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's like it's no notable names who are playing Peter Pan and Wendy because I mean, obviously they cast kids. But interestingly, the girl playing Wendy has like 2 other acting credits. One past and one other one upcoming. Her one other existing acting credit that has been released is she played a younger version of the main character in the most recent Resident Evil movie.
Oh.
And funnily enough, the actress who plays the lead in those movies, Mila Jovovich, is actually her mom in real life.
Oh.
So
that probably explains how she got that role.
Yeah. And then she's also got another upcoming credit that should have been already released, but isn't because of the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. Okay, fuck off whoever is throwing, like, magical bombs. Oh, it's a plague doctor. Okay, but seriously, fuck off. Okay, I can get up. Never mind. I just wasted health. Alright. Anyway.
Now I'm just... You talked a bit, remind me of something, but finish your thing first.
So the other acting credit this actress has is she's also playing, the younger version of, Black Widow in Black Widow.
Oh!
So, oh, that was pushed in all the way. Never mind. Yeah, so far she has been typecast as younger versions of existing characters. I mean, obviously, you know, she's very young. She'll, you know, get a wider variety of roles probably later on in her life.
Although it would be hilarious if she keeps the typecasting throughout most of her life, and in the future, when she's actually an adult, she gets all her roles are the younger versions of really old characters.
Her final role in a movie is in a biopic about Betty White. Because, like, you could be, like...
You cut out for that, sorry.
Oh, her final role in a movie is in a biopic about Betty White. Yeah. Also, another interesting casting news, and this one is related to a TV show, so I don't feel bad about not talking about it on the podcast. Ruby Rose, who plays Batwoman.
Oh yeah, she left the show.
Yeah, allegedly left. Some people are speculating that she was actually fired, but whatever.
Regardless, she is no longer a part of the show officially.
Which is very interesting, because that's the first case that I know of in those CWDC shows where a major actor has left the show and been recast.
It's weird, but I also just really want to know what happened to cause all that.
I mean, to be fair, from what I hear, Batwoman is actually one of the most poorly received of the DC shows on CW.
It's a shame.
But a lot of that seems to be, like, for the same reasons people hate The Last Jedi, and in the fact that, you know, people are sexist on the internet.
Yeah.
And the fact that the role was being played by an actress in the LGBT community didn't help that hatred. If anything, that created more hatred, unfortunately.
Bigotry.
But they have announced that they will be recasting it as someone in the LGBT community. So that's
nice. Good.
Good for representation, not necessarily good for the show's reception, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean...
God, fucking...
Like, those aren't where Batwoman is, like, in the comics, an LGBT character.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, it's good they aren't giving that to a straight person.
Yeah.
But they can actually some appropriate representation.
Yeah.
It's a shame that the show was poorly received, because I hear that she's actually a fairly popular character in the comics.
Yeah. And again, I haven't watched any of those. Well, I mean, I've watched like a little bit of The Flash and a little bit of Supergirl, but and technically one episode of Arrow, but it was the Flash crossover.
One of the Flash crossovers. There's been many since.
The first one, I should say.
Yeah.
Well, technically second, because Arrow appeared in the first episode of The Flash.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, like, it was just, like, a cameo. Like, him saying to Barry Allen, like, you can do this, you can be a hero, and all that shit. Yeah.
If you don't have anything else to continue with that, there was a thing that I wanted to quickly mention earlier.
Go ahead.
So the polite actor thing reminded me, specifically of the game Darkest Dungeons. Now, Noah, I know that you have heard of the game because I've mentioned to you, but how much do you know about the game?
I know that it's extremely difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult. So Darkest Dungeon is a roguelike RPG based around essentially like trying to fight against cosmic like eldritch horrors and the stress that it causes adventurers. In the game, there are a lot of the game, by the way, for everyone, for people who don't mind like a bit of challenge and a bit of like occasionally getting screwed over by RNG. In the game, there are like several classes of characters, one of which being a Black Doctor who throws grenades, which is what may remind me of this. One of the classes is called the Houndmaster. It's a class based around Guy and his.
Sorry, not to interrupt.
Now, the reason I bring
Velma, like, as she was attacking these enemies, just was called one of them Troublemaker, and it made me chuckle. It's like, Troublemaker, as like, yeah, I mean, I think that's the point. Also, I do appreciate her literally telling me, when hitting these lanterns will no longer yield me Scooby snacks. She literally said, "I think this one's done."
Anyway, the reason that I bring this up at all, because it is fairly off topic for the most part, is that, okay, so in the files of the games, like, all the classes have, like, default, like, all the each character, like, each instance of a character from a class has a name, and so in the files of the game, there's default names for all the characters. A lot of these are references to things, like, there's... Sorry. Like, for example, there's a class called the Flagellant, who... But,
Sorry, we just pushed one of the gargoyles off the edge of the building. And I'm like, dude, just fly back up? But it didn't. It just fell. What the... Okay.
for example, one of the classes, the Flagellant, who has, like, flagellation as a mechanic in battle, weirdly enough, is named after the person who introduced it to the concept of flagellation to the church. Houndmaster, one based around man and dog attacking in tandem. The default name is Shag and Scoob.
Nice.
That's the whole thing that roundabout tracking went towards.
Alright. That transition looks really weird. Like, I enter a door, but, like, don't go all the way inside it, and rather than fading out, the camera just pans down or over to the door I exit through. So it looks...
So I've seen that kind of transition in the Lego games somewhere before.
But, like, for me, it just feels like I'm just imagining Velma and Fred not even going all the way into the door and, like, clones of them coming out the other end is what I'm imagining. And I'm like, oh, so this is technically, because it's happened twice now, so this would be Velma and Fred 3.
So that's how they do the hallway chase sequences in the early episodes.
Oh my god! Yo, Matt Pat tackled that on Film Theory. Scooby and the gang have all been cloned hundreds of times.
Yeah. Also, what is it with us starting this Let's Play and then a bunch of content creators that I follow making Scooby-Doo related content? Like, there's the Game of the episode, and then at least one other person that I follow, like, did an analysis of Scooby-Doo.
Well, I mean, there's probably a lot of demand for it because of the Scoob movie.
No, now that you actually say that out loud, that is definitely it.
I mean, yeah, that's the same reason CinemaSins just did everything wrong with Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. And on TV Sins, they did one of the episodes of the original show.
Okay, I guess full honesty, I just forgot that he also started doing this because of Scoob.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's literally the reason we chose to do this as the next LP. Because of Scoob.
God damn it.
It's called tent poling, and it's the best way to get views.
Okay, that runs something else, but first, this, I think, is pretty decent evidence as to why it's a bad idea for me to accidentally stay up 2 nights in a row till 4 in the morning ranting about shit that doesn't matter.
First of all, I totally skipped what clue we just got, accidentally, because I was mashing B. Second of all, dude, get some fucking... Why do you keep agreeing to do these late-night recording sessions with me?
Sorry, you cut out after you said second of all.
Why do you keep... Like, if you're not getting sleep, why do you keep agreeing to do these late-night recording sessions?
Okay, here's the thing. We're not going till 4 in the morning for these.
Yeah, but you've also...
We're going to, like, about 2 at the latest most of the time. Rest is my own fault.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is you should be getting to sleep earlier regardless.
No, I know. It's hard because I suddenly want to do things. At around 2 in the morning, my thought process starts getting less rational, so I start wanting to do things that would take a lot of time. And then about 3 in the morning, I start going off about shit.
Well, there's like a scientific, there's a biological reasoning for that. It's because our bodies are programmed individually to like want to go to bed at a certain time, and if we miss that specific time, it makes it harder for us to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I learned, like, I remember that from health class.
Yeah. Man, I wish my body would tell me more accurately what time it is.
What time that is, yeah. Yeah, no, I've definitely missed it too. I stayed up relatively late Tuesday night because I got a weird idea for a potential video.
You want to talk about it here, or do you
I might as well
want to save it?
So viewers of mine may know I've been getting into this app called Disney Collect by Topps, and it's basically just a digital trading card app with Disney characters. And they just released like over 100 new base cards with over 100 new characters. I'll continue it after this is done. Anyway, so yeah, they've got over 100 new cards with over 100 new characters on them, and so because it's like I guess it's been 6 months since they since the app launched, so they're doing like a half birthday celebration, and so my idea for a really dumb video is to like sort of like what the Polygon channel did when they were like when Brian David Gilbert did the like which Castlevania enemy is the sexiest. My idea is like take the 100+ characters that they added to Disney Topps Collect, and figure out which one would be the best romantic partner for me. Again, it's dumb. I don't know if I'm
the best what?
Best
Cut out. What?
Romantic partner.
Ah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually gonna do it. Like, it's kind of dumb, but like, also, like, surprisingly, like, out of the 100, it's like 108 characters that they added. Or even more than that, actually. Out of all those, like, less than 20 are eligible. For one reason or another. Because I've excluded any that are non-human, any that are under 18 canonically, any that die at the end of their movies. Or in the case of Ernesto de la Cruz and Hector, any that were dead at the beginning of their movies. And then any that already have a love interest. So, and out of those, like, less than 20 that are eligible, 4 are female. Like, the only, like, out of like the new cards, the only female characters that didn't get disqualified by any of those qualifications are Lady Tremaine from Cinderella, Edna Mode from The Incredibles, Void from Incredibles 2, and Shank from Ralph Breaks the Internet. Oh, got Daphne Viking.
But on topic of video ideas, and also stepping back to the I was doing this because of Scoob, that best practice for views. I'll tell you something. So we have started a Let's Play the first Paper Mario game.
Yes,
and by
which
this
is also
point,
a
you guys have been able to see an episode, the first few episodes of it.
Yeah, first episode went up at the time we're recording this a couple days ago.
Yeah, so at this point, At this point, you'll a decent chance you'll see all the episodes that you've recorded at this point, at least. At this point, we've recorded 4 episodes.
Yeah, all of them will have been up by this point.
Yeah. So if you guys watch that, you know that part of the reason that we were doing that Let's Play is because of the announcement of Paper Mario: The Origami King.
Although oddly enough, we decided we wanted to LP that game before that game was announced.
Yeah, but Origami King was part of the reason I wanted to do it as soon as I did. Like, I think if not for the announcement, I probably would have waited perhaps a little bit longer before starting into it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it still would have probably been the next thing I played for Let's Play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I've been kind of Origami King's announcement is, and I started the first Paper Mario Let's Play. I've been kind of going back and forth as to whether or not when Origami King comes out, I want to do a Let's Play of it.
Yeah.
I think that could be really interesting, at the very least for me. But
I
don't know how many people would actually end up watching it, although it would be better for views because search engine optimization. But
the question is, would you want to do a blind Let's Play of that sort of game?
Yeah. And honestly, my biggest thing making me lean towards no is just the time restriction on playing it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it'd be really for it.
There is, of course, one upcoming game we should definitely LP when it comes out, and that's the remaster of Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yeah.
That's definitely on our list. Because, interestingly, other than the Game Grumps short-lived playthrough, I haven't actually... Oh, hang on. Oh, God. And now we are fighting werewolves. And also, we are in either the forest from Pocahontas or the forest from Wizard of Oz. Well, actually, no, there's a lot of different options there could be. This could also be Ocarina of Time.
It could also technically be a forest in Paper Mario. We haven't gone that far yet.
Okay. Could be Kirby. A much grittier reimagining. Zack Snyder's Kirby.
I was going to say Kirby, but the backstory is actually up front. Hidden lore is actually up front.
Yeah.
It's an inexplicable cosmic horror game. Actually, it's already an inexplicable cosmic horror game. It's an upfront, out of character cosmic horror game because, like, a lot of people don't know because it's in backstory and lore that most people, by all accounts, not notice. It's in weird places.
Wait, what the fuck?
Like,
hang on, hold that thought. He just mentioned a white queen? What? Also, is it just me, or did they just slap two completely different mysteries together for this final episode?
Maybe. Anyway, like, people wouldn't really notice a lot of the lore relating to it, but like Kirby has some surprising amounts of cosmic horror going on in the background, and I kind of love it.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for the character.
Honestly,
in the most ironic ways.
I've forgotten the order of the man's many first names. And David Gilbert, that's the order, right?
Yeah, Brian David Gilbert, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
During his Kirby unraveling Kirby video where he, which ends on him going on, basically an existential, journey of existential crisis. I'm surprised that he didn't, have that be a lead into, oh, Kirby's actually a cosmic horror entity. That's why he's so unknowable.
Yeah.
Because he is technically a cosmic horror entity within the canon of the Kirby games.
Man, now I'm just imagining... I mean, this movie would not be well received. Well, I mean, depending on how they pulled it off.
The Kirby out of space, according to suggest?
Yeah, like a Lovecraft-style live-action Kirby movie. Starring Nicolas Cage as King Dedede. That I would love to see. And also, of course, they have to get Antonio Banderas to play Meta Knight, because there really is no other option. That's just the only casting you could do if you made a Kirby movie. You would have to do Antonio Banderas as Meta Knight. But yeah,
So I think my favorite part about the Dave Kirby, one last thing for Kirby lore. One of my favorite parts about the Kirby lore is that if you want to explain the overarching timeline of the Kirby series, from start to end, you have to start with billions of years ago in an alternate dimension.
Oh, that's great. But also, I just had the thought of another casting for the Kirby movie. Huh? Keanu Reeves as Bandana Waddle Dee. God, I want this movie now. I really want this movie to happen now. Oh, God. This is so stupid, but I really want it. Wait, can Scooby not... Wait, how am I... What? What is...
I mean, because of his voice acting record, I kind of want Vin Diesel as Groot, not Vin Diesel as Kirby.
Well, I feel like Kirby would just be whoever played... Wow. Wow, that was... Did you see what happened there?
I saw Scooby go into the pipe and then teleport. Yeah, there.
Well, no, I didn't go into the pipe. I died, and this is where it respawned me because Shaggy was here. That has got to be the dumbest way of, like, dying to progress in the level that I've ever seen.
Going upwards, man.
Oh, that's funny. Hang on, I need to switch to Shaggy so that we can actually... Wait, does this even... Oh wait, was I supposed to... Oh. Oh wait! I also fucking did this the wrong way. There's a pipe up here. I jumped on that water wheel to get up here. What?
Reminds me of that.
I didn't have... What? Also,
Have our requisite have a requisite minimum one Game Grumps reference per episode. That reminds me of the Twilight Princess Let's Play, where like Aaron spends so much time like finding a way to get around like these geysers in the Death Mountain section of the game, when the solution was to just put on the iron boots so the wind couldn't blow you away. And when Dan told him about it, like Aaron breaking down laughing.
Oh yeah. Also, you know damn well I cannot follow that guideline of only one Game Grumps reference per episode. You know damn well.
I said minimum of one Game Grumps reference per episode.
Okay. I was like, there's no way we are setting that rule now because we have sure as shit broken it already in almost every video we've done since this renaissance. I say we like it's not mostly me, but it's mostly me. It's like, you and me, but mostly me. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. That's, at least the first part of that is from Book of Mormon, for those wondering. Yeah. Which, I hear is a fun musical. I have not listened to it or seen it. Just because, I mean, I'm not... Like, I'm not a Mormon, but, like, I don't I'm not a fan of, like, making fun of other religions.
Yeah.
Like, I hear the musical's really good. It's made by the makers of South Park, actually.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, I need to... Okay. Oh, what? Scoob, I need you to... Oh, right. Okay, thank you, Scoob. Alright. I guess I had to specifically stay on the button and let my partner go across, so that, they could keep down the bridge for me on the other button. But I thought the solution was smash the button as one character, then switch to the other character and go across. But when that happened, the partner that was on the button followed me, so that did not work. Oh. Yeah, anyway. Oh gosh, I just realized the mess that this episode's thumbnail is gonna be. Because it's gotta be, like, something related to the Kirby live-action movie. Jesus. That would be, I mean, like... If a movie like that were made, it would either be, like, highly regarded compared to most video game movies, or it would be even more maligned than the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Like, depending on how it was executed. Because I feel like, as true to lore as some of that stuff is, I feel like if you went that far with a film adaptation, I feel like most Kirby fans would not be a fan of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's fun, though. Oh, man, what other characters would we need to... Oh, God. Guy Fieri as Chef Kowalski. I didn't even have to think. I didn't even have to think.
Who are we going to have play the inexplicable eldritch horror that happens after Dedede is defeated?
Oh, Nightmare?
No, I mean... Like, there's like 15 different ones that could be.
Oh, fair enough.
Nightmare, there's Dark Matter, there's Zero, there's all the ones from the spin-off games,
there's technically Master Hand.
There's Void Termina. I don't know if they just jumped to a multiverse-destroying Elder God first.
Wait, what's Void Termina from?
The most recent game, Star Allies, he's the final boss.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And also, maybe the kind of thing Kirby's a reincarnation from.
Oh. Alright.
Because you fight his soul, and his soul looks like Kirby.
Ah. But then again, Meta Knight also looks like Kirby.
So I guess the better question is, what the fuck is Meta Knight?
Cal's Castle Keys. Okay. Wait, that crazy hunter with, like, the bear on his head, his name is Cal? Like, that name doesn't feel like it fits. Like, at all. Just Cal. Yeah, I'm Cal. Actually, when I say it with the accent he had, it makes more sense. I'm just trying to think of other, like... Yeah, because technically... Because Master Hand is actually the boss of one of the Kirby games, isn't he?
He's at least a boss in one of the Kirby games.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of the Novas. Planet-sized clocks that can just rewrite reality.
Cause my immediate thought, I actually, a long time ago, back when I did, the Signing My Cast series on, I'll just do this episode, when I did the Signing My Cast series on my YouTube channel, oh wait, I need Daphne right away. I did a fan casting of, a live-action movie based on the first Super Smash Bros. Game. and I cast Mark Hamill as the voice of Master Hand. So I thought that would fit.
I can see it.
Yeah. I had a few weird casting choices for that though. I mean, some that I think were really good, some that were weird. Actually, probably my favorite casting choice from that is that I cast Bill Fagerback. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right, as Donkey Kong. And if you don't recognize the name, probably because of my horrible mispronunciation, he's the voice of Patrick in SpongeBob.
Oh.
I just think he would be perfect as Donkey Kong. And then, I cast Robert De Niro as Mario because I wanted an actor who's actually Italian. And it's like Robert De Niro will do. Which I think you could make a really fun. I think Robert De Niro would actually be really fun as Mario.
Yeah. Also, apparently, the guy's last name is pronounced Fagerback.
Fagerback, okay. But, yeah, the other, gosh, I actually cast John Leguizamo as Luigi. Even though he played him in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I was like, you know, this actor his career has gone considerably up since the Super Mario Bros. Movie, so let's give him a second chance at it. Who else did I cast? Jennifer Lawrence as Samus. I still stand by that one. I think that'd be good. I mean, there's a lot of good options you could get for Samus, but I like Samus, or I like Jennifer Lawrence as Samus. Whether she would enjoy playing Samus, I have no idea. You know, considering she got pretty sick of Mystique pretty quickly, I don't know. And I mean,
sick of what I cut out for that.
Mystique. Which,
well,
I mean, yeah.
Apparently, it's like, almost could reasonably be a different.
Yeah, that's fair. It was mostly the blue paint. But, it is interesting. I do remember, like, I remember her saying, like, long before Dark Phoenix happened, that, like, her one condition for returning as Mystique would be if she got to appear in a Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Oh.
Which would be interesting. I mean, this was also long before the Disney Fox deal, but, yeah.
That would be an interesting way to introduce the X-Men.
Well, actually, Guardians of the Galaxy would be a good place to introduce the X-Men because Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde are a thing.
Yeah. Well, they apparently broke up because comics can't have long-lasting continuity anymore.
Yeah. Or meaningful relationships.
Which is annoying, I must say.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hate that the Marvel Netflix shows have sort of adapted that that line of thought when it comes to long-lasting relationships in between characters, because like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are such a good pairing, and then they just completely like write it off when Luke Cage season 1 starts. That was another reason that I really didn't like Luke Cage, was because, I mean, A, they, like, I get that, like, Rosario Dawson was the glue that brought all those shows together, essentially. But, like, you didn't need to make her Luke Cage's love interest to do that?
Yeah.
Also, what do I do here? What am I missing here? Do I have to... Oh, do I have to destroy all these carts? Because one of them got destroyed last time I did this. Do I have to destroy all of them? I guess so. Oh, and then I gotta... Oh, well, this isn't tedious at all. Too easy. Fuck off. Oh, you know, I would be able to, like, it would be easier to tell that this is what I'm supposed to do if there was any sign of that, wood slightly breaking with the first two parts.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah, no, because not a dent made by the first two carts, but the third cart just completely smashes it open. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I get, and that's also probably like a big part of why I liked Iron Fist a lot more than most people, is because I appreciated their like commitment to Danny and Colleen being a couple, and not just them being a one night stand, like so many of the other pairings throughout the show.
Yeah.
Throughout the shows, I should say. And that's also, like... I think I talked about this on the podcast before, but, like... That was part of, like, why I thought, the way they introduced Elektra into the Daredevil show didn't work as well, because, like, they introduced her, like, after, Matt and Karen were starting to become a thing. And, oh, wait. Oh, shit, I have to time this, like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, there we go. But yeah, so, yeah, yeah, I just wish, like, I just wish that, the Netflix Marvel shows had actually, like, handled spent more, like, develop more, like, romantic relationships rather than just, like, have every character hooking up with every character.
Yeah. This is something I kind of appreciate about the MCU in that, like, because of just, like, getting actors between, like, all the movies, like, it was, like, fairly, like, it's a bit off and off, but, like, they were fairly consistent, at least with Iron Man and Pepper Potts.
Yeah. I mean, the same can't be said for Black Widow and Hulk, unfortunately.
This is true.
But...
True, although that was just kind of a shoehorned love interest thing for the most part.
I don't know, I liked that bit in Age of Ultron. I also think I liked Age of Ultron a lot more than most people.
I mean, I also enjoy Age of Ultron, but that bit just feels like out of place. Me.
I mean, yeah.
If they wanted to do, like, a love interest thing, there's already, like, the potential to start the thing with Vision and Wanda, but again, what about taking a lot of extra, a decent amount of time that they already were kind of brushing through at that point in the movie.
Yeah. Also, Ultron is so underrated, I think, I think James Spader as Ultron is so underrated, because I love his snarky attitude.
Yeah.
Because, like,
he definitely I definitely think he's different from the comics from the comics Ultron, but I like but given the adaptation changes they made for why he exists in the MCU, I like the changes they made to his character. He is an AI that exists because of Tony Stark. It makes sense that he would obtain some of Tony Stark's snark.
Exactly. Because of course in the comics he was created by Hank Pym.
Yeah.
Which is why he's so evil.
Yeah, because Hank Pym in the comics is kind of a jackass.
Yeah, he's a terrible human being, and that's the same reason why they went with Scott Lang for their main Ant-Man.
Yeah. Also, I know I told you about this, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't in the video. They somewhat recently went a step farther with the Pym Ultron stuff by having the two characters merged together and people not being able to really tell for the most part, as an in-comic plot point.
Wow, really? Wow. Okay. Damn.
There's apparently getting part of that storyline was ink merging of Ultron and then trying to figure out, okay, is he evil or is he just Hank?
Yeah.
Also, Deadpool shows up in that story arc, so...
Oh, nice!
Because that was while Deadpool was a member of the Avengers.
Ah, nice. Yeah. Also...
I love how fluid the Avengers lineup actually is.
Yeah.
It's a bit annoying for, understanding continuity, but just kind of funny.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about the fact that, there has been so much conflicting reports over whether or not Deadpool 3 is actually happening?
Yeah.
Because, the creator of Deadpool, Rob Liefeld, claims that he has seen, Marvel's, plan for the next, 5 years, and that it doesn't include a Deadpool movie. And is blaming Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios for why Deadpool 3 hasn't happened yet. Which I mean isn't totally fair because the Disney Fox merger just is still relatively recent.
Yeah. So it'd be they're definitely going to do something with Deadpool. Deadpool is one. Deadpool
it's one of the most valuable
characters. Highest producing R-rated movies of all time. They would be insane not to try to do something with Deadpool.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It keeps going back and forth on whether or not Disney will actually do a faithful R-rated Deadpool, or if that is they don't want to hurt their image, their family-friendly image that way.
Yeah.
Which they seem to really be going all out on that family-friendly image. I don't know if you saw this, but the movie Splash was recently added to Disney+.
Oh yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the movie Splash with Tom Hanks was recently added to Disney+. And there's a scene in the original cut of that movie where... Oh. Okay. Where the girl's butt shows, she's butt naked on the beach, you don't see anything else but her butt. But in the Disney Plus release, they CGI'd hair over it.
Yeah. Oh, also, I believe in the Disney Plus release for Lilo and Stitch, there's one point, I haven't seen Lilo and Stitch in a while, and I've only seen screenshots of this bit. There's a scene where someone, goes in, crawls into, a washing machine or something, and they replace it, and they, draw over it to replace it with a pizza box. It is a box with the label for pizza on the front of it, and it makes no sense. It's not the thing that it originally was.
Oh fuck! I need to rewatch that now because
Yeah.
Wow. Also,
like, this isn't, like, necessarily explicit editing, but they've, like how they've been cropping the videos, like, they fit into a certain, like...
oh yeah, like, they're cropping...
And just have been, like, causing, like, a number of, like, the jokes in the Simpsons episodes to just, like, be completely absent, because there are some because there are some gags that you'll only see around the edge of a screen, but those parts of the screen have been, like, cropped away.
Yeah. Also, they apparently, like, completely, like, left out an episode of The Simpsons that, like, featured Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow.
Which, I mean, I kind of get.
I get it, but...
Because, like, there might have been a joke in there, like, I don't know. There must have been, like, some interaction between Michael Jackson and, like, one of the kid characters that led them to, like, not want that on there.
Reminds me of an old, like, episode of the show Arthur, where, like, one of the characters is, like, having difficulties with a bike riding related thing, and I believe they get advice from a character played by Lance Armstrong.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh my god. Some stuff in shows just, I mean, doesn't age well.
Well.
Well, unfortunately, like, there's so much of that stuff that you just can't predict.
Yeah.
Like, there's a fucking sin. There's actually a sin in Everything Wrong with Baby Driver where Kevin Spacey makes a reference to Monsters, Inc., and the sin is, please don't have this guy ever reference any children's movies. Like, something like that. Because obviously, like, the Sins video, like, that, because that movie was released, like, shortly before all that stuff came out about Kevin Spacey. Yeah. Which caused another movie of his and Ansel Elgort's to completely bomb at the box office.
Yeah.
There's this YouTuber I watch, Karsten Runquist. I'm probably getting that name wrong, but he does a lot of movie analysis and stuff. I actually specifically I watched, like, a few of his videos from time to time, but the video that got me to subscribe to him was a movie where he talked about how terrible SpongeBob Out of Water was.
Naturally.
And in one of his more recent videos, he watched every Ansel Elgort movie and ranked them from best to worst. Which I thought was funny. And it's just really funny the way he talks about Ansel Elgort, because, like, Ansel Elgort is, like, a weird dude in real life, and, like, but also, like, has that, like, he manages to balance weird and cool perfectly. And you can see it in some of his movies, like, I mean, Baby Driver is unquestionably his best movie. Yeah. It's just interesting, because he, like, Ansel Elgort also has a lot of really bad movies. Like the Divergent sequels.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, arguably that first one, too. And The Goldfinch. Which, yesterday, my mom was looking for a movie for us to watch. And, so The Goldfinch, it has recently been put on Amazon Prime, listed as an Amazon original, even though it was originally released in theaters? Which, I don't know if Amazon was actually directly involved with it and it just got a limited theatrical release, or if they bought it after the fact, after it did poorly at the box office. Like, I don't know. I don't know all the details, but, and my mom was like, oh yeah, like, that looks interesting, and I'm like, I heard that was really bad, so I'm not gonna watch it. I don't know.
So I'm looking up more, like, I was like, curious to see like what else was edited for on Disney Plus. I like started googling that, and apparently they removed one of the jokes from the Toy Story 2 blooper reel.
Oh, yep. Because there's a joke in the blooper reel where Stinky Pete is like flirting with two Barbies and saying he'd be willing to get them apart in Toy Story 3. Which I mean, for like, that's another joke that has not aged well. You know, because of all the Me Too stuff. And, well, they did that even before... Oh, Daphne died by glitch, I guess. But yeah, they actually edited that out of Toy Story 2 before Disney Plus launched. Like, they edited it out of, like, the newest DVD release. So yeah, like... Which, I mean, yeah, like, good thing.
Here's another one. So Hannah Montana in season 2 is a character in an episode whose name is Isis.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, in all fairness, like, Isis was a name before a group just kind of adopted it.
Yeah, that's fair. But, like, wow,
there are like a bunch of cases just from before times for that group existing publicly, at least well known publicly. Just like a lot of things are named Isis, and it's weird now.
Yeah. Oh.
And then apparently a symbol on Grungle Stan's Fez in Gravity Falls was removed on Disney Plus.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Wait, what was this? I'm trying to. It's been a while since I've watched Gravity Falls, so I don't remember what symbol is on his Fez, but it don't feel like it was something offensive.
It was a fish of some kind, it looks like.
Why would they remove that?
It looks like a vaguely Pac-Man-like fish, I can tell.
Did they get sued by Namco or something?
Probably not. Also, the weird thing is apparently they left the symbol in on the thumbnails for episodes.
Oh.
So that they didn't even remove it consistently.
Wow, that's so weird. Why would they remove... Yeah, that doesn't feel like a like, that's not a symbol that I would think would be offensive. I don't know, like... That's so weird. I do need to rewatch Gravity Falls. I need to rewatch the first season and also watch the second season, because I still haven't seen the second season.
And then... apparently, this caused Alex Hurst, the guy one of the creators of Gravity Falls, to just express their confusion at the removal.
Yeah, I bet. Remind me, have you seen Gravity Falls?
I have not, but I have been similar to a lot of people who talk about it regularly, so...
I feel like you would really like Gravity Falls.
I feel like I would too. It's just... I'm still in a weird spot where I have a really bad time, but that's not accurate. I'm really bad at watching shows right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
For whatever reason, whenever I pick up a show, even if I'm really enjoying it, I can't get myself to come back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I still need to go back and watch season 3 of Daredevil and season 3 of Jessica Jones.
Some stuff that I've been getting into. Like, I'm a big fan of the Castlevania anime on Netflix. I'm worried that I wouldn't have come back to finish it if I hadn't watched it all in one sitting, basically.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. Like, well, I mean, we're about done for this episode, though.
Also, one last thing. You know the famous instance of animators hiding the word sex in The Lion King?
Well, it's actually SFX, but yes.
Yeah, well, they removed it anyway.
Yeah, I figured. But it is actually SFX as a tribute to the sound effects team.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, there's so many of those weird instances in Disney movies where you think there's subliminal sexual messaging, but there's not. In fact, there's a whole song about it in Twisted: The Untold Story of a Royal Vizier. The song simply titled "Take Off Your Clothes." Again, I gotta show you that musical. It's so fucking good. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode. Tune in next time where we will definitely be finishing this game. I'm Noah.
I'm Jacob.
Peace.
Adios.